So, hello everyone, and welcome to today's event. Today, the event is split up into two different days. So today is going to be focused on the composing aspect of music, and tomorrow will be focused on the mixing aspect of music. So we will be mixing what we compose today. Um, Depending on time and depending on how much I could create, we might just make like three different pieces of like three contrasting styles and genres, and we'll mix all those tomorrow. But we'll see what happens. We will see if we create three pieces. We'll see if we even create one piece. So as I was saying briefly before I hit record, this event is going to be mostly impromptu, which I kind of do for the most part when it comes to my workshops, because it's not really too fun to have like a set schedule for this type of stuff. Because like music's spontaneous, so just make it spontaneous and go with it and see what we create. So I will be keeping an eye on the chat. If anything for some reason comes up, like my audio cuts out or you can't hear Logic Pro anymore, just put in the chat, but I will try to keep an eye on it. I am using a MacBook. Apple isn't really the best when it comes to like multitasking and recording, and it's a disaster. It is truly a disaster. But I'm gonna not rant about Apple. I do that enough in all my other videos. So yes, we are just going to make some music. I'm going to try to break down exactly what I do, like with my thinking process, like the harmonic functions within the music, like why it sounds like it does, how it works, etc. Just breaking down that stuff, but as this is Logic Pro, I do have like two different views. I have the notation view and then I have the piano roll view. I'll try to go back and forth between the two when I analyze the music for those that don't know how to read sheet music, and for those that do know how to read sheet music. It's going to be a lot easier to explain the sheet music aspect than the piano roll. But yeah, today's event is just impromptu. So without further ado, let's make some music. Right, so if you watch any of my events, any of my previous events, you always know that I love to start off with some chords. Chords are the nice building blocks to music. But lately, what I've been trying to experiment with was playing short motives and then trying to expand off of that. So I think yesterday I had something like something like that. I'm not gonna exactly copy that again because that would be boring if we just make the same exact music that I made yesterday. So, I am thinking that we could start with an acoustic guitar, maybe have it in the lower octave, more towards like the bass range. So I don't really want the acoustic guitar to be the melody. I'm thinking more so it could be playing the harmony aspect of the piece. So let's get something going. Well, I mean, I guess it's a good idea to think about like what key I want to play in exactly. We'll play in the key of G. I've been playing in the key of G for quite a while, so I should have some experience with knowing what I'm doing. So let's just get some idea going. Just some random motive that we could work with. Let's see. So we could start from a G chord, and then maybe we can move to, so we'll move from G, which right here is just the outline of a G chord. Of course, we're in bass clef, so that's why we have the bass clef there. So that's just an outline of the G chord. Maybe we can move to a 3 chord, which would be B minor. So let's see. Let's see what we could do. I do not like that. Whoops. With the acoustic guitar, if you go down low enough, it tends to play chords. So it's like an open chord. So it's, there's no, what am I thinking? There's no third to the chord, so it's like an open chord. So it'd be like playing a C chord, so it'd be just like C, G, E. So, we could probably use those chords later on. But for now, let's try and work with what we are going with. That should be good. I mean, it's simple. It's very simple. And then from a 3 chord, I actually have, so there is a trick to, like, knowing the harmonic function to chords, and I have it written down in my, Roblox journal that I got at RDC last year. So, I don't know if you could see it or not, you probably can't, but it's basically, like, what chords could go to what. So, like, the 1 chord could go to any chord you want it to go to. Then we have the 3 chord. So it's the 3 chord could go to, let's say, the 6 chord. So we got... In one of my previous events, I did go over this with, like, the harmonic functions of chords. It was like a basics to composition presentation that I had. I do want to do something like that again, where I kind of break down the music, like the harmonic functions, and, like, knowing all the tricks to music when it comes to composing it. But for today, we're just gonna... I'll briefly mention it still, but I just don't have, like, any other notes written down or anything that I could display. Also, hello to everybody that's joining. Don't worry, I'm keeping an eye on the chat. Okay, so let's see. So we'll go from a 1 chord, which is G major, to a 3 chord, which is B minor. And then we will move over to the 6 chord, which is E minor. So let's see how that goes. It doesn't really sound like it fits. It seems like it seems a little out of place to me. Let me I also forgot to turn the metronome on, but I think I was in time. And then from a 3 chord, we can move to... We could either go to a 6 chord... Wait. I'm gonna have myself. We're already on the 6th chord. So from the 6th chord, we can go to the 4th chord, which would get us C major. Whoops. So what we would have is G, B minor, E minor, and then to C. C major. So we will run with that. See how that sounds. So now we have. I did say at the start of this that I would try to make the acoustic guitar less of the melody and more of like the harmony, but it's definitely starting to turn into more of the melody. So I'm wondering though, if we could take this idea and kind of just rearrange it to fit that more motive idea. So if we stick with the chords, so just have something that repeats. There we go. The chords are happening again. But something like that. That basically just turns into... You know what? I'm just gonna leave the acoustic guitar as is, because it's kind of limiting me with, like, how low I could go with it before it just turns into chords. So I'm just gonna leave the acoustic guitar as is. I'm gonna use a different instrument. Something that sounds a bit better for, like, a motive. Let's see. No. No. Nope. Now comes the fun part of me trying to find instruments. That sounds interesting. Let's run with it. Why not? Let's just create something on the spot really quick. Nah, I'm kind of just... So if I do it like that, we're gonna have a little bit of counterpoint, where it's like, both the instruments are competing for your attention. I don't really know if I want to go for counterpoint or not. Let's... Let me see, what if we just do chords? If I do the right chords. Let's see what happens. There we go, some harmony. So once again, it's just the same chords that we've been using, which is just the G major. There you go. B minor, E minor, C major, and then back to, well, eventually, we will get back to G major. We didn't get there yet. Also, thank you for all the emojis. I appreciate the emojis. Okay, so let's see. I think that that's probably the best one to run with right now. I still want to change the acoustic guitar. I don't know why. I really want the acoustic guitar to be in the back. I don't want it to be so much in the front. I don't want it to be the melody. Let me see. If you guys have any thoughts or opinions on, like, what the music, like, if it sounds good, or if you have suggestions on, like, maybe you should add this instrument, or change this instrument, feel free to put in the chat. I like the interaction, and the feedback. I don't know if you guys think that acoustic guitar works better than the previous one that we had. I think it sounds better. I think it works with the piece a little bit better. Now, of course, we could always just have everything repeat, because that is the easy way to do it. And it also helps the listener to keep up with what's going on, I guess. So that's what we have so far. I'd love to add more instruments. I don't know why. I just have to always keep adding more instruments. The more instruments, the better. But not always. But in my mind, more instruments, the better. So let's see. Let's add that. Why not? I did make an error right there. Let's see. It kind of just adds a bit more depth to the piece. I want to change. Okay, let me see. Whenever I have these options for, like, different sounds for the instrument without having to actually do any work, like, I don't have to play around with any of this, I always like to hear all the different sounds just to see if something sounds better than another one. But I'm just, so from the chat, somebody's asking me what I use for the input. I just have this little MIDI keyboard. It doesn't have too many keys to it. It's like 24. It's like roughly 26 keys. So it's nothing too much. So I'm kind of limited when it comes to, like, the composing aspect, or the playing aspect rather. But it does have, like, an octave switch button on it, so that does help me to play other octaves. It's just, I can't play like 3 different octaves at once. It's not possible. So let's add some type of melody to the keys. So I like it, but it's very quiet. Also, as you could see from the piano roll, I kind of did double a few notes by mistake. So let's see, if I really want to continue with this instrument, I could just duplicate it, and then I could... Let's see, what's the best way to go about this? I could just EQ it up so it's a bit louder. Let me EQ it on that side that's actually playing on. So basically the EQ shows you like the sound wave of the instrument itself, and you're able to raise it or lower it, so you could get more of that like high end or more of the low end, all that fun stuff. So let's see if this helps to bring out the sound of the instrument. Yeah, I think that helped bring out the sound of it. Of course, I could always just turn up the volume as well. So yeah, it's mostly just eighth notes. I want to see something. What if we have that? So that's kind of descending. We also have a lot of syncopation going on. So that's where it's not playing on the beat. So it's kind of off the beat. So if this is like... Let me see. I'm going to demonstrate syncopation now. Let's see if I could do it or if I fail. So if we play everything off the beat, so there's the tempo right now, so it's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. And if we were to play everything off the beat, so like 1, 2, 3, 4, that's basically everything syncopated right off the beats. So we have a lot of that going on with the melody. There's nothing wrong with it. I like syncopation. It definitely adds a bit more flavor to the piece. So just go repeat that. I might have a different melody play instead of the same thing over again. Let's see. I kind of played a few wrong notes there, but I think it worked out. And of course, I kept with the syncopation idea and kind of syncopated that melody a little bit. There's the piano roll for those that can't read sheet music. I really don't like the piano roll. I find it's very hard to read. Like if you create sheet music, you can definitely eyeball this really quickly. Like, oh, okay, this looks like an outline of a G chord, so that must be a G chord. This looks like it could be an outline of... Well, if I played the notes in the chord, you'd probably be able to tell what chord it was. But a lot of those notes are in that chord, so you can't really tell. This wasn't a very good example. But anyways, if we take this is very clear as day with like what the chords are. So that's a G major chord, that's a B minor chord, that is an E minor chord, and then we have the C major chord. The piano roll I find a bit of a pain, because then you have to line up this. It's just, I find it very tedious. I don't know, maybe you like the piano roll better. Maybe you like the notation better, like I do. But you probably only like the notation if you could read the notation. Otherwise, it looks like nothing. So, let's continue with what we have so far. I kind of have to remind myself exactly what I was doing with the acoustic guitar, because I kind of forget. So first, let's remind myself. Of course I use the piano roll, like, when I need to match up with the octaves. So that's where it comes in handy. We're matching up with the octaves. That's mainly what I use it for. So let's see. I'm thinking, maybe we could have a bit more fun with this. Maybe we could throw in some secondary dominants. I find secondary dominants so much fun. So let's see. Actually, wait. Let's see. So secondary dominants are basically putting a chord inside of the music, like changing the quality of the chord. So typically if we were to take like a 2 chord, it would be A minor. But instead, if we take the 2 chord and make it major, that is now a 5 of 5 chord. And that would resolve to 5. Of course, you could resolve it elsewhere, like, it basically has the same function as the 5 chord. So if instead of resolving a 5 to 5 to the 5, and we have it go to a 6 chord for a deceptive cadence, we got that, which is fun. But my favorite secondary dominant chord has to be the 5 of 6. If I could do it right. And I always like to resolve it to the 4 chord. So I got this. If I could do it right. Which, I want to do that. I want us to play with the 5 of 6 chord. See what we could do. Let me get the chords down first, because we kind of know what we want to do with that. Now let's see. So of course I did play that a little too late, so we're just going to line that up and pretend like I played that in time. There we go. Let's get something going for the acoustic guitar now. Let's see. Hmm. So that's what we have so far with that. Basically we're just going from the 1 chord to a 5 of 6 chord, and then to the 4 chord. And where we're going to go next from there, I don't know yet. We haven't got there yet. So let's continue adding a bit more instruments in. It's funny, I keep blanking on what to play when it comes to the B major chord. I can't think of like any other notes to play that is not in that chord. I guess my fear is playing the wrong notes, like I just did there. I kind of like that idea. If I could play the right notes, I think that that might work. I keep playing something wrong. I will get this. I'll get this eventually. Okay, I think I could live with that. That seems like something. Yeah, it sounds like something that I could live with, I guess. And then we will continue. We will now add in a melody. See how that sounds. No. If I play the right notes. Okay. Kind of, sort of. I mean, basically I want to try to copy what was going on in the Pixel EP with that build up. I just want to duplicate that. Oops, I don't mean record. So yeah, that's basically just it might just resolve back to the one chord. I might just have everything repeat, and then we could just do that over again. So yeah, that is that so far. Okay, let's see. I'm trying to keep an eye. So, another question in the event chat. Have you always used Logic Pro, or did you start with something else? So when I originally started making music, I used MuseScore a lot. MuseScore is more of like a notation-based program. It's less like this. It's very, very limiting. So I started with MuseScore to make some music, and then I got the MacBook around 2020, and with the MacBook, I got Logic Pro. So that's when I started to use Logic Pro, which was around 2020. I'm still learning it. I'm still trying to get, like, better with the playing aspect, because with MuseScore, it used to just be like, you'll just put notes into, like, a score. But this, it kind of gives you more freedom with actually being able to play. So, maybe one day I will be able to make something good. But anyways, let's let's continue. Alright, I want to hear how this sounds if I just have everything repeat. So one of my bad habits is always just having everything repeat, just because it's so easy to do. So you don't want something to repeat too much, but you don't also want there to be, like, absolutely no repeats. So you need to go back to, like, the main idea at some point, so it could sound like it's flowing a bit better to the listener. Because if you have something new in, like, each measure, it's not gonna sound very good. Of course, though, there are some composers who might do that, just to be a bit more experimental. But, our goal today is to make a piece of music that an average listener might listen to, or something that you could, like, listen to, might hear in, like, a video game or something. That is our goal with this. So we don't want to go too experimental, but I also hate to repeat everything too much. So we have to find that nice happy medium of repetitive, but not too repetitive. I think if we repeat this idea over again, it kind of just loses like the thrill of having that secondary dominant show up. I also don't think that it's a good time to have everything repeat. 'Cause hmm, actually, it might be okay to repeat everything right there. It doesn't seem like it sounds out of place or anything. It doesn't become too repetitive. It almost sounds like a new idea, despite the fact that it literally just played 2 measures ago. So what I might want to do... I'm thinking of, what if we change the chords here? So what if it's... this... the first two measures, these two chords... those can stay, but what if we change something else? Like, as the listeners are expecting this to go to this, what if we give the listener this that goes to the actual 6th chord? To throw them off a bit. That seems like fun. So let's just get rid of that. Get rid of that. And then let's find out what octave we left off with this. If... oh, right. Yeah, that's the one. So it kind of just repeats the E note right there. And then if we take this one's the octave up. Let me see. Let's see. Just have everything just descend. Yeah, we might not want that there. Let's see. So there we go. Now we got that deceptive cadence that we were avoiding last time when we resolved the 5 of 6 to a 4 instead of to the 6. Well, I really want to call it a deceptive... I wouldn't really call it a deceptive cadence. Maybe more of just like, it's naturally going to the sound that the listener might expect in the first place. But in our case, it's a deceptive cadence because it's not how it resolved previously. So yes, we will call it a deceptive cadence, why not? So what we want to do is continue adding the instruments so it sounds full. There we go. Everything kind of just slows down to quarter notes. Let's add some type of melody on top. If I could play the right notes. Let's see, I played a wrong note in there. I believe it was that. That is... yeah. So the notation's a bit odd. We're playing in the key of G major. So naturally you would notate that E flat as a D sharp instead. But because Logic Pro thinks that we are in the key of C major, That's basically why it puts it like that. And I don't really feel like trying to remind myself where the... I'm not gonna worry about it. We're just gonna keep rolling with it. Notation's off, notation's wrong, but it's all good. Oh. Actually, that's the wrong note. Let me do that. Now let's see what happens. See what happens if we make that a C sharp. No. That sounds even worse. We'll keep the C, even though it does sound out of place. And then a bit more of that syncopation again. I don't know how you guys would describe this music. It doesn't really sound too dramatic. And it kind of sounds relaxing in a way. But it's not too relaxing. So yeah, let's say. So we're going to the 6th. Then from a 6th chord, we can move to the 4 chord now. Again, just quarter notes, because why not? Yeah, I'm gonna have the keyboard go down instead of up. So we have that little contrast between the guitar and the keyboard. I guess that works. And we'll move back down an octave. I believe. Yeah, that should work. Cool. Now comes the time when I don't know where to continue with the piece of music. So I don't know whether I should repeat the beginning again, or if I should add something new, something completely new in. Let's see what happens if we just repeat it. So it does sound like if we repeat it, it works. But, I'm thinking. I don't want it to repeat exactly again, because that's when, it tends to become boring. So what if we stick with the same chords. So we'll start with G major again. I kind of forgot what the notes are. Okay, there. That doesn't sound the same. Yeah, so what if instead of moving to a C chord, what if we move to E minor? So the 6th chord. Which, then again, this is the 4 chord. Wait, no, it's a 3 chord. Yeah, so 3 to 6. Actually, did we already do that? Yeah, we already did that. So we already had the... Okay. So, what if instead... Okay, there we go. So instead we'll go from 1 to 3 to 4. That works. Okay, another question. How to know exactly what tempo to use? Like, for example, if you go for Allegro, how do you determine exactly what to use? 130, 135, 140, etc. I think that when it comes to, like, the more... Like, when it comes to those terms, like Allegro or Vivace or Legato... not Legato, sorry, it just... It lost... I need to look this up now. Let me see. Lento, largo, largato, adagio. Yeah, largato, largo. That's what I was thinking. I don't know why I said legato. But, I think that a lot of those tempos kind of leave it up to the performer, which I do like when the composer leaves interpretation up to the performer, because it kind of makes it so that each recording of it sounds different. It's like the tempos could vary, the rhythms could vary, etc. It sounds unique to that performer. So usually I personally, when I compose music, I kind of have like the tempo set just because that's like the notation aspect to it, like how the programs are. But if I were to make something that somebody themselves were to actually perform, I probably would use those tempo markings like Allegro or Vivace, just to leave it up to the performer to kind of decide how they want to play it and exactly what tempo they want to use. So, how do you determine exactly what to use? It's up to the performer. The performer has say in it. Okay, so there we go. So another thing that we're kind of tending to do is just have every single instrument remain. And there's nothing wrong with that. We're not really adding any new instruments. We're not really taking any instruments away. So it kind of is just, you get what you get with instruments. But I think I might change that a bit. Maybe, What if we drop out the muting keys for the repeat? Let's see. Yeah. By the way, we are going on to 12 o'clock, which I did put in like a 5-minute intermission. So we will briefly take like a 5-minute break coming up. If you have like any other questions, you could put it in the chat. I'll take a glance at it. But yeah, let's take a little quick 5-minute intermission, and we will continue at like 12:05 or sooner if I get bored, which I do tend to get bored. So 5-minute intermission, and we will be right back. Alright, cool. So that was that. Nice short little 5-minute break. Just to breathe. So let's kind of just play what we have from the beginning just to hear everything all together. Okay. What I'm thinking is that we kind of are getting like the same exact thing over and over again. So what if we change that? Let me remind myself what that chord was. Let's see. What if we do that? How would that sound? What if we modulate from G major to C major? So a good way to do that, let's see. So, let's see. So basically what we are doing is we're turning the tonic into C major. So I have a C major chord. And then we're playing a 5 of 5 chord. And then resolving on G major. Which basically is an easy way to modulate to G major. Easy way to modulate to C major. So let's see. I'm gonna change that. Sure, that could work. Why not? Except, let me play the right notes. really sure if the keyboard should be doing more or not. Because it almost sounds like it's the ending of the piece, but we are just starting a new idea, so I don't want it to sound like it's complete. Almost. I kind of like that idea. Basically, I kind of just keep playing out ideas until something works. I... That sounded cool. Let me see, okay. Almost. I kind of lost it. Almost. This is gonna be like the next 5 minutes. Okay. Let me just... Sure. You know what? We're just gonna keep it like that. Sure. Why not? And then, I don't know if I want to add something for this or not. Or if I want to add this back in. Let's see. Yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe it sounds better without the synth. I hate to get caught up on one thing. But, I mean, there's nothing wrong with paying like, giving one spot a lot of attention if it doesn't sound like it fits. What if... What if we kind of... I don't know about that. It sounds too classical. mm, I want something though that kind of gives the music a push. So that doesn't sound like it's ending. I also keep forgetting to turn the metronome on. I don't know so much about that one. What if... kind of keep that idea going. Just kind of descending. And then what if we... So I'm kind of thinking of like what chords we could use in the key of C major to keep this going. So what if we switch the acoustic guitar to just chords for more of a contrast? Let me see, what happens if I... What if we just have the acoustic guitar just play a chord right there? And then from the C major chord, we could move to the third, or E minor in this case. And then from E minor, maybe we could go to the sixth chord, A minor. Let me see. Well, if we play chords a little bit quicker. Let me... Well, if we did that. So basically what we're doing is we're going from C major 1 to 3, which is E minor, and then to the 6th, which is A minor, and then we have a 4, which is F to G, which is the 5, back to 1. So it's kind of... the chords are moving quicker. Let's see how that sounds. Let's see what we could do with that. Let me see, so I ended off... Let's just keep doing that. Yeah, it looks about right. I kind of stopped playing the notes, because I ran out of keys. I have to switch octaves. Let's see. Yeah, it's a little bit different, but that's fine. So let's see. Everything is in time. It sounds interesting. Yeah, there is no way I'm gonna remember those chords right off the bat. It sounds interesting. Oh, oops. Wrong instrument. It still sounds like it's, like, final. Like, that's the finale. So what if we just... Hmm. No, I'm just basically trying to think of... Yeah. Yeah, that's how I think of it. It's, it could be better, couldn't it? I think what we need to do is do that and just... This whole piece is, starting to turn out to be a little bit of a disaster. So it kind of feels like we're trying to extend it, but it's... doesn't sound like it should be extended. Oh, welcome to my event. Hopefully you learn a little bit about music, and yeah. I bet that we both share in the same stresses of the creative aspect of, like, with you building, and then when something's not going right, you kind of just delete everything. And then with me, with the musical aspect, when everything's not going right, and I delete everything. But anyways, let's just, let's backtrack a bit. Let's listen to the piece again, kind of go from there, and maybe we don't have to keep adding to this. Maybe we could just have it be an endless loop and just move on to another piece that we could start to make. So let's just revisit this and just backtrack. I had my microphone off there. Let me repeat that. There was one part that I accidentally did delete that I think I do want to keep because I think it does help with... It will help with the repeat. Okay, what if we delete all that and have everything repeat? See what that is like. Okay, yeah, I think we're going to just leave it like that. So everything's just going to repeat over again, and there's nothing wrong with having a piece that just repeats forever and ever and ever. And it might make good background music for a video game, because a lot of the times with, like, simulators, it's kind of the same piece of music just playing over and over again, but you're so engaged in the game that you don't really notice the repeats, and a lot of times you just kind of tone out the music because it's kind of repeating the same thing over again. So naturally, it's just your ears just know what's going to happen. So I don't really have to focus too much on it. Anyways, so that is going to be that piece, and I think that we should make another piece of music. So for the interest of not having to get everything going again, like screen share in a new Logic Pro window, I think I'm just going to add new instruments to this track, and then come tomorrow I will have it most likely separated into two different projects. So that way, when we do the mixing tomorrow, it's not the same exact mixing for both pieces, so we can have contrasting sounds. You'll find out tomorrow. If you show up to my event tomorrow. Right. So, what I am thinking is for a second piece, we could do something that is completely different in sound and style and instruments as well. So the first piece we had an acoustic guitar, but I'm thinking this time we could have a bass. Add some bass into the music. And we'll also change the key. So instead of playing in the key of G, we will play the key of D. Actually, let's change it. Let's play in the key of F. So that way we have a flat instead of a sharp. Let's see. So I'm kind of just playing around with some ideas. I'm trying to get some basic ideas of chords, and I also want the bass to move a lot. Well, if we do that, I'm pretty sure I could work with that somehow. Let's change the tempo as well. So I will do it this way for now, so that doesn't really affect the other piece. Let's go up to 105. Let's see if I could play in that tempo. Oh, yeah, I forgot about that. Let me move it over to... Bug. Okay, you know what? We're just gonna start right here. Also, what might help to have the metronome on? Okay, cool. We will start with that and just have that repeat. Right? Okay, yeah. I don't know why. I kind of blanked on what I just did. It sounded different. Okay, so let's see. Hmm. Let's add a piano. Actually, what I'm thinking is that we make use of something else. Let me get a whirly. This might sound really cool. Okay, let's get something groovy. Let's use more syncopation, like, before. So let me think of what chords to put on top of this. So, I already know that we're gonna have a 1 chord, which is F major. And then we're gonna have the 5 chord, which is C major. But I don't know what to do with the... Well, we have that ascending bass line going up. We could probably... let me see. If we do 6, 6, 5, 1. Let me see. 1, 2. Okay, that's gonna 1, 2, 3, 4. Something like that. If I could do the right notes. So... let me... 2, 3, 4. That... I just want to hear how this sounds. It's probably no good. Actually, might have potential. It sounds interesting. That's definitely one thing that you could say about that. It sounds interesting. I'm... I mean, 2, 3, 4. One more time. There we go. I don't think that that works, though. It sounds interesting, but I mean, like, harmonically speaking. Just go from 1 to 5 to 6, 4. Yeah, I guess it works. Although the bass doesn't really line up with the same notes. I guess we will run with it, why not? I'm gonna also have the whirly double the bass. More dissonance. That's what it is. It's very dissonant. Let me see. Let me add a drummer. Because usually a drummer makes everything sound better. Let's try disco. I like that. It sounds very dissonant, and it sounds very, like, out of place at some points, but I mean, it just... something about it. It just sounds very organic. Let's add some annoying lead. Let's see what we can do. Now everything is just out of... Everything is just, like, out of place in this. Let me try and... I want to have it sound at least somewhat good. Almost. I want more movement to the melody, though. That's the thing. But I also don't want it to sound very out of place. Trying to make something sound not out of place. So I want to quantize that. Sure, why not? We'll run with that. Sure. It's definitely very, different than the first piece that we composed. We definitely want everything to repeat again. I think it's starting to lose it. It sounds good over here. definitely interesting. um, I think that we should change the chords up. We definitely should change the chords up so that it's not just the same thing over and over again. So let me think. That's kind of just the same thing over again. I think. So if you go from, let me just do something. Yeah, I messed up already. I messed up my idea already. Okay. Let's work with that. Let's actually quantize that to the 8th note. I love how the drums just add so much more to this. Like, and then you add in those drums, and then it's like an entirely new piece. Cool. So let's think of some chords now. So one. Let's try it. I'm losing the beats. Yeah. I don't know why, I just can't keep up with it. I just can't keep the beat with the drums. Let me try again. Why can't I do this? Yeah, sure. I hate adding in the notes. I like to try and play it, even though I suffer at times. What if we... let me do that. I'm still trying to, like, think of what notes to play. So let me... yeah, let's do that. did that wrong. Let me... So start with F. And we'll move to A minor. Then we'll move to G minor. Well... Actually... Okay, so now I have the idea of what to do. Now it's basically just getting it. Cool. I guess that will work. Yeah, that should do, I guess. That synth just came out of nowhere. Maybe just... That should do it. Sure, I guess. I mean, it's not exactly what I envisioned, but I mean, it's something, I guess. Now if we just have it repeat, well, I just copy that. Let me repeat that. This doesn't want to cooperate right now. There we go. So that kind of throws off the timing of everything, and... Yes. That is another piece of music. I don't know if I'm entirely satisfied with it. I mean, it's definitely a contrast to the first piece that we composed, and I mean, it's a lot shorter too. I don't even think it's 30 seconds. But when we mix it tomorrow, it definitely will be a different... You'll definitely mix it. You'll mix it differently than the first piece, just due to the genre and the instruments and the type of sound that it gives off. I mean, just having the drums will definitely make it something different to mix. Different... I keep trying to think of the word. I can't think of the word. So I'm just kind of mumbling on. But anyways, when I mix it tomorrow, it'll be completely different than the first piece that we mixed. So with this, I think that I'm just going to have it repeat, see how that sounds. And it's not really anything too grand or anything too fancy. It's basically just one idea, second idea, back to the first idea, and back to the second idea. That's pretty much all we're getting out of this one. If you have any more questions or any feedback or anything like that, feel free to put in the chat now, because we are going to be wrapping up this event pretty soon. I think that I scheduled this event to like 1:05 or 1:10, but we might wrap up just a little bit earlier than that, because I don't want to start to try to expand off this and then have us run out of time. So it seems like a good spot to kind of just wrap up the event gradually. But, what I want to do, though, is I want to change up the drums just a little bit. Not really mix it, because we'll do a lot more of the mixing tomorrow, but I think that if we just change this up a little bit, so let's have the kick and snare follow the bass. Usually it's a good idea to have the drums, the snare follow the bass, just to keep that flow going. And I think that when the music changes right here, yeah, I think that we're going to have the drums change a little bit too. So if we put more hi-hat, and yeah, let's see. Let's just put more hi-hat and see how that sounds. I like that hi-hat. It sounds nice. I wonder though, what if instead it was cymbals? I don't think cymbals would sound as good. Yeah, I don't think cymbals. What about toms? What if we put toms instead? I think I'm gonna do that. I think I'm gonna change it to toms. Toms seem to have a nice sound to it. Then, I don't really know about percussion though, but let's just add a, this thing, a shaker. We'll add a shaker and see if that sounds better. Oops. Where'd I add the shaker? Yeah, of course, I put it over there. What about tambourine? I think that definitely adds more contrast to the piece. So, yeah, that is the second piece of music, contrasting with the first one that we created. Um, yeah, I think that is going to do that for that piece, and the first piece is. I think that the first piece that we made sounds a lot more like an actual piece of music. The second one, eh. I mean, I don't really know where you would use it. You probably wouldn't really use it as, like, background music, but you probably wouldn't add it to your Spotify playlist and listen to it in your free time. So, yeah, two contrasting pieces, and if none of you have any questions, I think that this event is going to end pretty soon. So, of course, tomorrow we are going to be mixing these two pieces that we composed. And basically, we're going to be playing around with, like, the compressors, adding in some of the other, type of, like, what was it? We're just going to be playing around with all different sounds. We're going to be making the music sound a lot more unique and just have fun. Have fun mixing the music. So, if nobody has any questions. Oh, by the way, before I get too far ahead of myself, I want to advertise my Gilded. So, let me see. So, for those that like Gilded, I do have a Gilded for my events, which is me typing it right now, and then I'm gonna put it there. As you could tell, I'm a professional streamer. Not professional at all. But anyways, I do have a Gilded. If you use Gilded, it's gilded.gg/AV events. That's pretty much the only place that you could find me outside of like this event hub. And I do strongly suggest that you join it because it's a great way to give me feedback with my events. Help me tailor my events more to like what you would want to see. Like if you want more workshops or if you want me to break down specific areas of music, if you're interested in becoming a composer and pretty much anything in the realm of music. It's a great server. It's a little dead right now, but I do hope to revive it and to really have it as like the main hub for getting feedback and being able to choose the direction of my events. So yes, that is going to be it for today's event, and I hope I see you again tomorrow for tomorrow's mixing event. So until then, have a good day, night, evening, or wherever you are. Alright, take care.